I've used a lot of client delivery softwares for my photos over time. I've really so far enjoyed Pic-Time the best, and here's exactly why. Now, number one is brand and style. I find it really cool that you can actually add on like your website, your Instagram, other socials. You can customize the way each gallery looks or all of the galleries. You can add watermarks if you sell your photos individually. You can put your logo up there and all of the above, your colors, everything. It's a really cool way to organize your brand within one space. The next thing that's really cool is your photo selling. So what's really cool about selling your photos on this platform is that you can go in and use different priceless presets, or you can manually use presets. You can set things up. So this part right here is really cool for being able to print photos, or your clients print photos. You can actually limit your labs to local labs only, which is kind of interesting. So it doesn't just pick any lab. Or you can pick the lab you want to use. So say you have been using a specific photo lab for the last 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, and you really enjoyed using that one. They did a great job. They have a pretty large list of different labs you can use here, and you're allowed to pick a specific one that you would like to use instead of having it pick for you. Or if you don't really know or not sure which one you want to use, you can just have it pick for you. But you'll notice that some of these have different prices and different shipping costs and things. So you can also take that in consideration when you're picking your photo lab. You can sell your digital photos. I know there's some photographers out there who sell individual photos in a gallery, or you can have them pay per additional photo or pay for the full gallery. For me, I usually have the gallery included in the price of the package that a client is paying. Most of the time I'm doing weddings for this, and I'm using Pic-Time for weddings. But if you do other types of shoots, you may charge per photo or per gallery. And this is where it gets really fun because you can entice your clients to have discounts. So long story short, it's just really nice that you can customize the lab, the prices, the digital products, and all of the above. And then you have store settings and store preferences. You can change the prices, you can change the markup, you can change whatever you kind of need to be able to sell your prints at the prices you are looking for. So by default, they have a price list, but you can also change how much you want that for. And then the next cool thing is that you can actually add vendors to your gallery. And what it does is it allows you to just add whatever vendor you want to share the photos with, but it also sends them a customized email with your gallery to them that allows them to use the photos with certain uses. Now they have a preset template. It's all called their vendor terms, which I like. It basically just says, welcome to your gallery. Here's what you can do with the photos. Here's what you cannot do with the photos. And it allows you to pick and choose if they can have only web size or high res, or if they can purchase your photos. And of course you can add whoever you want, and it'll show up when you make your gallery. You can integrate a bunch of different stuff into Pic-Time. You can integrate Honeybook, but you can also integrate Lightroom, which is really cool. And then those of you who use Imagen or Zapier, there's some plugins for Blog SEO Booster, and a bunch of other really cool things that you can add to this, which is something that you don't really have in other platforms. And then one thing you will notice here too under storage is that you can put videos on here. So I could attach videos to my client's photo gallery. It is really cool that you could add like your highlight film, if you do photo and video like myself, to the gallery. So everything's all in one for them, and a bunch of other stuff that you can do with video. So what's really cool about Pic-Time in the galleries that I really like compared to others, and I know other ones do this as well, but not all, is I really like that they have different sections you can add. So like this couple can go to different sections of their gallery so they can specifically find photos they want to purchase or download or look at without having to deal with scrolling through and trying to find it. It makes their life a little bit easier. Convenience is key. Now, let's get into the real bread and butter of why I really like Pic-Time. It's really nice and easy and less complicated to make a gallery, and there's pretty good customization ability, which I'm a real big fan of. And then you pick their wedding date, which is really fun. So we'll just put a random date, English is what I speak, and then you can upload a cover photo, which is really cool. I'm just gonna use some of my own elopement photos, but what's really cool is it tries to optimize the gallery colors to the color of the photo you pick for the cover photo. And you don't have to use that. You can change it. So I can change the background to whatever color I want. I can make it a little bit darker. I think darker brown looks a little bit nicer. And then you can pick what you want the header to look like. So you can have different ways and looks. And then the next part is pretty simple. You just add photos. And the cool part about this, while the photos are uploading, is that I can add different scenes, which is what we saw earlier. So I can say like, okay, we did getting ready, then we did the first look, and then we did the ceremony. You know, we can continue to add different scenes. And then once the photos are uploaded, we can drag and drop them into their respective sections, or you can click on each section to upload them manually that way. It's totally up to how you want to move them around. And then right here, you notice there's featured videos. You can add a video if, say, you do photo and video, or maybe you made them a little clip and throw that on there. You can make slideshows for them, or even a blog, which is really cool. And then the next part is the gallery setup. This is where you have all of your settings, where you can pick if you want them to be able to download certain sizes and allow sharing and everything like that. And then here's the fun part. This is where you can add specific discounts. Like you can add an anniversary discount. If they added stuff to their cart and then didn't purchase, you can add a discount for that, or anything else really. There's early bird discount if they download it like right now. And there's so many other options to pick from for this, and you can create your own too. And this is the vendor section, what we talked about earlier, where you can add your vendor and it'll send them their gallery. And then of course you can share your gallery with your clients, multiple clients if you have multiple. You can share it via email, you can use a link, and you can even have guests come look at it. That way they don't have the options that the real couple does. They may not have download access or printing access or anything like that. And then you can set like access codes and stuff to make sure that only the people you send it to can get in, even if the link was shared with somebody else on accident. And then lastly, we have workflow, which is where we can share stuff, we can add sections and album proofing, all the fun stuff. But for the meantime, that's basically my favorite parts about Pic-Time. I know this was a longer video, but there's a lot of really cool stuff within the software, and I think it's important to note all of them because that's the reason we use the software, is to have really good workflows and make the client experience even better. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment if you have any questions, let me know if you have any questions in general, and I'll see you guys in the next video.